June 28, 2014, Vancouver, Canada, 5:47 a.m. A man steps outside his front door holding a cup of coffee. For one brief moment, everything feels completely normal. Then chaos. Two unmarked sedans block both ends of the driveway. Federal agents swarm him from every direction. The coffee cup slips from his hand and shatters on the pavement. The man doesn't run. He doesn't resist. He doesn't even look surprised, because he already knew exactly why they were there. His name was Su Bin, and for 6 years, he had been running one of the most audacious intelligence operations in modern history, an operation that reached deep inside some of the most classified military programs in the United States. This wasn't a bank robber. This wasn't a hacker in a basement. According to court documents and FBI indictments, this was the man who helped steal America's most advanced military secrets and deliver them to Beijing. What he stole would influence military development for years to come. And the scariest part? For nearly 6 years, nobody even knew it was happening. Everything you're about to hear is documented. Court records, FBI indictments, Department of Justice press releases, declassified intelligence assessments. This is the story of how one ordinary businessman, running a tiny company with 3 employees, became a key figure in one of the most damaging cyber espionage operations ever uncovered. Let's go. On paper, Su Bin was completely unremarkable. 49 years old, he ran a small company called Load Tech. They made basic cables for aircraft. Annual revenue, around $180,000, 3 employees. Nothing about him suggested danger, but Su Bin had a hidden project, and it started at aviation conferences and trade shows around the world. Beijing, Paris, Seattle. While everyone else exchanged business cards and shook hands, Su Bin was doing something different. He was mapping people, names, job titles, security clearances, personal frustrations, financial pressures, access levels. Every conversation was intelligence. Every complaint was a data point. He built a carefully organized targeting list of people working inside America's most sensitive defense programs. Not spies, not yet. Just people connected to systems that mattered. Engineers who complained about management, contractors who talked too freely at industry events, personnel with access to systems they didn't fully understand the value of. By the end of 2008, his list covered employees spread across dozens of American defense companies. Then 2 figures entered the picture. 2 Chinese military hackers, known only as UC-2 and UC-3. Their mission was simple: penetrate American defense contractors, extract military technology. Their problem? They knew which doors to knock on, but they didn't know who had the keys. Su Bin had spent years building exactly that. The first major target was Boeing, specifically, programs connected to the C-17 Globemaster III, a military transport aircraft capable of carrying massive amounts of cargo anywhere on Earth, a platform China had spent years studying. Without success, Su Bin's role was precise: identify the right person, study the vulnerabilities, give the hackers everything they needed to get in. In early 2009, a Boeing engineer received what looked like a completely routine email, a benefits update, something that could arrive in anyone's inbox. He clicked. That single action opened the door. Within minutes, Chinese military hackers were inside Boeing's network. No alarms, no warning screens, no dramatic Hollywood moment, just silence. And once they were in, they stayed. For 18 straight months, operating quietly while Boeing employees slept. They planted backdoors, created administrator accounts, moved through systems collecting engineering files, technical reports, and sensitive documents. And Su Bin became far more than a coordinator. He reviewed stolen file lists, translated material into Mandarin, added technical annotations, engineering notes, recommendations, corrections. He wasn't simply moving stolen documents. He was helping transform raw stolen data into usable military intelligence. The most shocking part? Boeing had absolutely no idea any of it was happening. They wouldn't learn the true scale of the intrusion until investigators confronted them years later. But the C-17 was only the beginning. Because the operation expanded far beyond Boeing, the next target was far more valuable: the F-35 Lightning II, America's most advanced stealth fighter, a program that cost more than $400 billion, the most expensive weapons system in human history. Its production involved more than 1,700 supplier companies spread across 45 states. That complexity was designed as a security feature. Su Bin saw it as a vulnerability. Rather than attacking the biggest contractors directly, the operation focused on smaller suppliers, older systems, fewer IT resources, less security. And according to investigators, the results were devastating. From one supplier came sensor fusion technology, from another came advanced helmet display systems, and then came the most valuable theft of all: the classified formula for the F-35's radar-absorbing coating, the material that helps make the aircraft nearly invisible to radar. More than a decade of research and development transferred to Beijing. Intelligence analysts later described the damage as incalculable. The operation became one of the largest known thefts of aerospace technology in modern history, and Su Bin organized everything, every file, every translation, every annotation, every category, like an engineer building someone else's air force from the inside. For years, the operation was invisible. No arrests, no leaks, no public trace. Then one mistake changed everything. In 2012, American intelligence agencies intercepted communications connected to the operation. The messages discussed stolen files, target companies, ongoing activities. One attachment described how hackers entered Boeing's systems. It included file names, internal screenshots, evidence, and buried inside those communications was a breakthrough, a coordinator, someone responsible for target lists and translation services. The FBI finally had a thread to pull. Months of investigation followed. Every account looked clean, every trail went cold, until one day, an account was accessed from an unexpected location. The connection led to British Columbia, then to a property, then to one man, Su Bin. The FBI compared travel records, conference attendance, communications, and breach timelines. The pattern was impossible to ignore. Industry event, then intrusion. Conference attendance, then intrusion, again and again and again. The net was closing. By June 2014, investigators believed Su Bin had facilitated the theft of military secrets worth hundreds of billions of dollars. He had personally received approximately $4.7 million for his role. Then he booked a flight to Beijing. Departure date, June 29th. The FBI had 48 hours. Authorities moved quickly. An arrest warrant was obtained. Surveillance teams confirmed he was home. The raid was scheduled for dawn. Dozens of agents. One objective: prevent the destruction of evidence. At 5:47 a.m. on June 28th, the door opened. Su Bin stepped outside. Within seconds, he was in custody. Investigators later stated that when they seized his phone, the screen was open on an encrypted messaging application. A button labeled "Emergency Clean." One tap, just one tap, and years of evidence could have vanished forever. Inside his office, agents found laptops, external hard drives, flash drives hidden inside a hollowed-out electrical outlet box. His primary laptop contained nearly 900 gigabytes of military-related data, carefully organized, carefully labeled. Then, 5 days after the arrest, something strange happened. Kevin and Julia Garrett, a Canadian couple living in China, were suddenly detained by Chinese authorities. No explanation, no meaningful public details. Kevin would spend nearly 2 years without seeing natural sunlight. Julia endured months of relentless interrogation. The timing was impossible to ignore, and the message was unmistakable. Canada stalled, courts delayed, months turned into years. Then Beijing went silent. No more messages, no more attention. Su Bin had been abandoned. In February 2016, he agreed to extradition. Days later, he arrived in Los Angeles. Standing before a federal judge, he admitted his role in the conspiracy. His sentence, 46 months, less than 4 years, for a case involving military secrets worth hundreds of billions of dollars. 2 weeks after he reported to prison, Kevin and Julia Garrett were released. No government officially acknowledged a connection, but many observers drew their own conclusions. According to U.S. intelligence assessments, the operation accelerated Chinese military aviation development and saved enormous research and development costs. One businessman, 6 years, 3 employees, and an operation that changed far more than anyone imagined. In March 2020, Su Bin completed his sentence and returned to China. No press, no celebration, no recognition. His current whereabouts remain unknown. The technology Su Bin helped steal is still flying today. The aircraft exist, the systems exist, the knowledge exists. And once knowledge is stolen, it can never truly be recovered. Because unlike money, knowledge doesn't disappear after it's stolen. It multiplies, it spreads, and sometimes It quietly shifts the balance of power across the world. The two hackers, known only as UC-2 and UC-3, were never identified. They remain at large. And that leaves one final question. Do you think Su Bin is still alive today, or did Beijing make sure he would never talk again? If you enjoyed this story, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.